My first record that I ever got was Aretha Franklin's Greatest Hits Volume 2.
Wow.
And so I've been listening to that a lot today, and I think I was about 12.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like, I don't know, like a weird sense of autonomy or something, being like, I own something, and this is what I like. And I know that I have, a preference in music now. So it's kind of wild. It's been a wild day, actually.
When my friends told me you had someone new, I didn't believe a single word was true. Show them all I had faith in you. I kept on saying, oh, no, not my baby. Oh, no, not my sweet baby.
Welcome to This Broken Mixtape, the podcast that rewinds and presses play on the soundtrack to your life. I'm Jeff Wu.
And I'm Justin Lee.
Hope you all enjoyed your summer. The time off was great and long overdue, but Justin and I are both excited to be back with our next guest, who we spoke to via telephone while on tour. Apologies in advance for some of the sound fidelity. Model / singer-songwriter Kaya Wilkins, aka OK Kaya, recorded the majority of her debut record in her Brooklyn apartment. The ethereal, melancholic bedroom pop album delves into themes of racial identity, sexuality, insecurity, and mental health. We talked to Kaya over the phone about the benefits of recording in her own home, playing White Stripes covers with her older brother, and her most favorite and least favorite condiments.
It's Justin from This Broken Mixtape.
Hey, what's going on?
Not too much. How you doing? Is now a good time to talk?
Yeah, sure.
So just to let you know, you're also on the air with my co-host, Jeff.
Hi, how's it going?
Hello, Jeff.
So Kaya, I understand for the recording, the writing and recording of this album, both, you scrapped 2 years worth of material before finalizing the composition and recording and coming up with a finished product. What happened there? 2 years of material is quite a lot to kind of scrap and just sort of throw away and start from scratch. And also just run us through your creative process.
Yeah, I don't know. 2 years of material scrapped. I mean, there were some sessions with some producers that I scrapped, and then a lot of things I re-recorded. I guess I scrapped the things with the producers because it didn't really turn out the way I wanted it to be always, which I think is completely normal. And yeah, it felt good to sort of just do things over again, because it was the first time I ever tried to do or make a record. So I think it's just like in the natural amount of time.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, how was that different from, because I know that you kind of would release these one-off singles on SoundCloud when you first started off. I remember just kind of getting notifications through SoundCloud. OK Kaya has a new track, and I'm just like, yes, awesome. And it was kind of great because you weren't sort of tied to a label, and there was sort of that freedom there. So what is it like now to sort of have these? I know they're partly sort of self-imposed, but these sort of hard deadlines, and knowing that you have to kind of put out like a full record's worth of material.
I think it was the format that I always wanted to make something in, like a full-length format, maybe a little bit shorter, but just to have sort of something cohesive, and songs that kind of belong together theme-wise. So yeah, it feels good to have made a record. I haven't listened to it in like a year.
Oh wow!
But it's a little less than a year.
Is that weird listening to your own music?
I I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't be weird if I like hadn't listened to it in mixing like 7,000 times. Now I'm playing it on tour, which is also really weird.
Yeah, I mean, I caught you on 2 dates of Tobias Jesser Jr. when you were opening for him. Once in Toronto, once in Washington D.C. and both performances were incredible because, especially the first one, because I really didn't know a whole lot about you, and neither did anybody else in the audience, and we were kind of just blown away by it. How did that whole thing materialize with Tobias?
I think it was just like I met him in LA, and then our managers got to talking, and they were like, "This is a good fit." I'm a good person to bring on tour because like I don't bring anything.
No entourage, no.
Just me.
And so for
bring me on tour.
So this time around, you're going on tour with Amen Dunes, and I guess you guys start in a couple of days.
We actually started 3 days ago.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I'm walking around in Portland right now.
Nice. Portland's a great city.
Yeah.
What's the response been like so far?
I don't know. I think good. Someone gave me some chocolate, which was nice. I got some hugs. People are still talking during my set. They're all like, "Stacy, what do you want to drink? Do you want a tequila soda?" And I'm like, I just try to ignore that part. But a lot of people are there for it.
Yeah, I think that's got to be really tough, and I almost understand why certain bands, like I saw Kings of Convenience years ago, and they had this rule where, yeah, they're great, but they had this rule where, part of me thinks like, okay, this is a little arrogant and maybe going too far, but they shut down the bar. Like they make sure that whichever venue they're playing during their set, they just shut it down because they don't want any background noise. But also, if you have the power to do that, then why not? Yeah.
I should probably acquire the power. I don't really feel like I am good enough to be like, "Hey, shut the fuck up." But maybe I just have to practice more.
Well, I think there's something about your performance, and granted, I haven't seen you in 3 years, but there's something so vulnerable and like really engaging about watching you on stage. And I think that, I don't know, maybe I'm just like really attentive as a concert goer, but I don't know, I couldn't help but just watch and listen, and I feel like if the average concert goer would give you a chance, then that would happen, and there would be less talking.
Yeah, I guess, yes, it differs every day. It's really nice when I can hear people listening.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm all spaced out today.
No worries. So you recorded the album largely out of your apartment in Brooklyn. How did the blurring of lines between your home and your workspace help drive your creativity, or did it at all?
So my studio is like 3 feet away from my bed, and my studio is a bookshelf that I've made into a desk. And honestly, it was quite nice. I don't think I should make another record in that space. I think it's maybe good to like step outside once in a while and maybe have like a schedule where you go somewhere from 9 to 5 or whatever, and then sort of leave it, because I just kind of sat there or slept or sat there. But some of the record we recorded over at Aaron's place, and then that was a change of scenery.
Yeah,
that was good.
Speaking of Aaron, Aaron helped out with some of the production. What was it like working with him?
Super natural and supernatural. No, it was good. It was it didn't really feel. It just felt really organic, I guess. Cool. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. It felt good.
Mm-hmm. One of my favorite tracks on the album is IUD, and I feel like it's probably the first song that's entirely devoted to, assuming the responsibility of birth control. And it's just, it's like a very sort of, we're gonna put it on the playlist because we have a playlist for every episode. But tell us about the how you came up with the idea of writing the song.
It wasn't really an idea. It was just something that I was considering getting. And then it turned into I think I said it as a joke. Mm-hmm. And then I wrote it down, then I recorded it. Because, it was a bleak moment, just thinking about how hard it would be. Not even for me, I'm privileged enough for it to not be that hard. But for some people to just get basic birth control in America.
Right.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about it.
Is there some hopes that Planned Parenthood will eventually commission you to use this song in one of their? I don't know if they have. Do they have commercials? I don't know.
I don't know if they have commercials. I know there's a rally in November, and I'm desperately trying to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it would make sense.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Now, I know you're probably sick and tired of this question, but, as I know that you started off as a model and you still model, how is that sort of transition from making music, from modeling to making music? Because I think there's always that sort of mentality with certain people where they're like, oh, she's, she thinks that she can sing now, or, with actors, it happens a lot when they put out an album, right? Was there any sort of trepidation on your part?
I don't know. I think a lot of, I think I sort of do things out of spite at this point. I just started acting as well, and I'm just yeah, fuck it. I'll just do whatever, because it comes from the same place anyway. Mm-hmm. And it's your own sensibilities.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't really feel like modeling has a lot, or maybe anything to do with, who I am or what I'm about, which is kind of nice because it's my job. Mm-hmm.
But I guess it sort of at least affords you the freedom, a little bit of freedom to, not worry about, I have to make sure that I tour the hell out of this record kind of thing. Yeah. I model, and then I lose money touring, and it's a good deal. Mm-hmm. And then how about for acting? How's that been so far?
It's been cool. I was in my first movie ever. This Norwegian director that I really like asked me to come and try out, be in this movie, and then I tried, and then it worked.
And this was just based on seeing some of your music videos, or?
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, I think he heard the music. And so I got to work alongside this really great lead, who basically I just reacted to the way that she acted. Mm-hmm. And that was it. And it was really cool to learn something that I no intention and was kind of mortified of doing.
Right. So you think that there'll be more acting in the future for you?
Maybe, or just more stuff I don't know how to do. Mm-hmm. Out of spite.
Out of spite, to tell the world that you can do it.
I guess maybe I'm not telling the world. It's just me having fears and then trying to conquer them.
What other fears do you have that you have not yet tried to conquer?
So many things. Still performing, I guess.
What's the silliest fear? I mean, and I mean just some people are afraid of bugs or heights. I don't know if you've ever seen those Maury Povich episodes where people have these irrational fears of inanimate objects, and for instance, somebody will be like deathly afraid of mustard, and then they'll get somebody come out with a big vat of mustard and chase them around. And to me, like, that's just quality television. Like,
it's so good.
Yeah.
I wish I had something like that. No, that's not true. I don't wish that. I actually, I have a friend who's really scared of ketchup.
Oh, so, okay, so that does exist.
It's real. Like, she was like, it kind of makes her a little, she like chokes up a little bit and gets really sad. It's not even like screaming or, like if you see like a rat or something, like that reaction is more like grief ridden.
I feel like she must have to avoid so many public places because, restaurants, I mean, I feel like obviously hot dog stands.
Yeah, that doesn't work for her.
So like in the bottle or just out in the open? Like
out in the open, I think.
Okay.
I think she has to see the consistency. But it makes sense. It's like a gross, red, shiny, bloody looking. I mean, I'm probably going to be quite unpopular, but I don't really like ketchup that much. So I get it.
What's your favorite condiment? That's the first time we've ever asked this question on the show.
Mustard and mayo.
Oh, together or?
Together, separate, doesn't matter.
Okay.
As long as they're both there.
Okay. So one of the things that we like to talk about on the show is just your people's personal journeys with music. So if you can kind of look back, when you were a kid and just kind of music playing around the house, what kind of music would your parents be playing?
Oh, man. So much, but, Aretha Franklin passed away today, and I just remember that my first record that I ever got was Aretha Franklin's Greatest Hits, Volume 2.
Wow.
And so I've been listening to that a lot today, and I think I was about 12.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like, I don't know, like a weird sense of autonomy or something, being like, I own something, and this is what I like. And I know that I have, a preference in music now. So it's kind of wild. It's been a wild day, actually.
Yeah.
But my mom will listen to so much music, it honestly, is just too much. She listened a lot to Miriam Makeba. You know her?
No, I don't.
Like a South African singer.
Okay.
I vividly remember that going like day and night. Really liking it. Yeah.
And then what was the first concert that you went to?
I think it was just like a local, like some local teenagers playing some punk rock or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because I grew up in a peninsula, and it just wasn't anything going on.
Mm-hmm.
So when I turned 16, I started going to this music festival in outside of Copenhagen in Denmark called Roskilde.
Okay.
And that's where I would like see every person that I wanted to see for like 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like camping.
What was that one artist that you saw that really just changed your whole perspective of like live music, especially?
Bjork and Prince.
Yeah.
Wow.
I guess like super performers.
Mm-hmm.
But I also saw just like, I think I saw Alan Aye, like the one guy from Kings of Convenience, do like a tiny set in a tent in this like Swedish like folk group called Taxi Taxi. That were just like up and coming. I saw, there's a good Little Dragon.
Yeah.
Like so many years ago now. All of that was really cool too. But I guess, they had some big acts. But it's fun because they have good bookings and up and coming artists as well.
Mm-hmm. I understand that you also you have an older brother, and you guys sort of made music together when you were younger.
Yeah, I mean, I have two older brothers, but yeah, one of them, he's a black metal drummer now.
And so, is that the kind of genre that you guys worked in, or was it just kind of very different from that?
We were like 12. I think we covered like the White Stripes, you know, for like a talent show, stuff like that. I think I also may or may not have covered Maroon 5. I just said that on live television. But no, television, radio. But yeah, it's really, some really good tunes.
Mm-hmm. Do you believe in the idea of guilty pleasures?
No.
Yeah, I feel like people should just own up to like what they like and shouldn't be embarrassed about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like Maroon 5 though. That's the problem.
Okay, but you you might happen to like a song from a band that you don't like, right?
Yeah, totally. But most of my pleasures, I'm not really guilty about them.
Mm-hmm. Like what's I mean, a lot of people have their own pick for the song in the summer. What's your favorite song in the summer this year?
Man, I don't know. I've had a really weird summer. My most played like Spotify song of last year was "You Make Me Feel Like Dancing."
Okay.
By Leo Sayer. So yeah, absolutely no guilty pleasures here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I wonder. I'm not really sure.
So I know you're featured on the King Cruel track "Slush Puppy."
Yeah.
Tell us about what it was like working with him, and what did you think of the final product?
It was great. It just kind of came quite naturally. I was just talking to him today, actually.
Okay.
I think we were just like Facebook messaging each other.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, sing on this song, maybe. And I was like, I'll see what I can do. And then I sent it back over. And then I didn't really hear anything for however long. And I think it sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I think the whole record sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's a great record. So, in closing, I just want to. You have like one of the best Twitter accounts, and so I'm just gonna read some of my favorite OK Kaya tweets, and if you could just tell me what was going through your head at the time.
I probably couldn't, but that's okay.
Do your best. Okay. A Satanist with a God complex.
Just a mood that turned into a song. I put it in Fake It. It was kind of the rock of Fake It, the song I put on one of the songs I put on the album.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's, words are, if you can like see a clear picture after throwing a bunch of words together, probably a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Have you met my personality?
That's something my friend said in LA.
I feel like I didn't deliver that right. Have you met my personality? Is that better?
Exactly. Yeah. There you go. She was driving. She's really, I don't know. She's really something. It's just kind of like loud and clear lady. Really funny. But she, I don't know. I can't remember in what kind of setting she was talking about it. But she just said it while driving.
My fish died of lung cancer.
Another image, I guess. I don't really... like stuff I find funny, like words I find funny, and to put together to make it weird.
Mm-hmm. I think we should start texting other people.
I guess that's kind of it's just weird how people have relationships now. I feel like if you start texting other people, it's almost like you're not in a relationship anymore.
Yeah.
A lot of, relationships happen virtually.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Especially if you're, on tour and you're not physically seeing that person.
Yeah. I physically never see anyone. Ever. Yeah, but it feels weird.
my favorite, have proof that I'm Eric Andre and Rosario Dawson's love child, which I completely agree with. I mean, I can see that. I can totally see that.
That's just wishful thinking. But yeah, I just love them as a couple.
I think you sort of share like their sense of humor too, based on like interviews I've seen with each of them separately. You kind of have that sort of warped, like sort of eccentric sense of humor. That's
good. At least we have something in common. It might not be, our genes.
Mm. Well, I thank you so much for talking to us.
It's nice talking to you.
It's great talking to you, and enjoy the rest of the tour.
Thank you.
All right.
Awesome. Thanks. You've been listening to Season 2, Episode 16 of This Broken Mixtape with model/singer-songwriter Kaya Wilkins, aka OK Kaya. If you haven't already, visit thisbrokenmixtape.com to check out this episode's Spotify playlist. There you'll also find our past interviews and custom illustrations for each show. If you enjoyed this episode, please take the time to subscribe, rate, and share our podcast wherever you're tuning into us today. That'd be really amazing, and we would really appreciate the added boost. Also, if you have any comments, feedback, or ideas for guests, feel free to drop us a line through our website, Instagram, or Twitter. Join us back next week for our special guest, Aaron Fogel, musician and curator of Venus Fest. Again, thanks for listening. We really appreciate it. Cheers.